Welcome to Let's Set Your Table, the food service and hospitality podcast that brings you the experts, trending news, and product reviews from across the industry. So grab a chair with your hosts and join us as we set your table.
In today's episode, we're joined at the table with the Director of National Sales for Leafware, Diane Maxwell. In the always changing world of food service, compostable food packaging is not a new term. However, palm leaf is a new compostable substrate that you may not be familiar with.
It's a fast casual serve. If you are plating and going and plating specials on it, it's the perfect thing. If you're sitting in your deli case for 3 or 4 hours, it's fantastic. I think it works really, really well. If you try to plate more than 6 hours out, it's a natural product. It's going to get a little smushy on the bottom, but overall, the performance of it is wonderful.
So if you're looking to diversify your food packaging bundle and offer your customers the most sustainable substrate out there, then dive in with us as we discuss the world of palm leaf packaging with Leafware. Well, welcome all to yet another episode of Let's Set Your Table. I'm your host, John D., and I am joined today with my co-host, Nick D. So glad to have you in the studio today, Nick.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know.
Even though father-son. You know?
I know. But you've got your own life going on. So tell us, how's the newest addition to the family going?
She's doing great. She's getting bigger, and we're getting sleep when we can. So I can't really ask for a whole lot more right now. And my wife and I are doing the best we can.
Since I've had a little practice at this, like 3 of them, we know all about that. Yes, sleep deprivation. If you can handle sleep deprivation, you can do anything. I'm prior military, and that's the first thing they do is they deprive you of sleep to make sure you can still execute.
Well, they can't see this on camera
orders, that is.
Because we're doing audio, but I'm drinking a cup of coffee, so that's what's getting me through right now. But yeah, everything's good, and I'm excited to be here for another great show today.
That's great. Well, we got a great guest joining us today, and but Nick, before we go any further, let's make sure that we acknowledge our sponsor.
This episode of Let's Set Your Table is brought to you by the Hody Group Chicago Showroom. The Hody Group offers professional broker services in the food service and hospitality industry with over 40 years experience. The Hody Group's product showroom boasts over 4,000 square feet of some of the best product lines in the industry. So if you're interested in scheduling a free in-person or virtual appointment with a product specialist, please visit hodygroupshowroom.com. That's HODE groupshowroom.com.
So, visiting with us today, Nick, and joining us at the table is our very good friend, Diane Maxwell from Leafware, who is the Director of National Sales. Diane's a great partner of ours here at the Hody Group. I know you've worked with her, Nick, quite a bit too.
Absolutely. Had a lot of great experiences with Diane and certainly shared a couple district meetings together.
Oh, yes.
And she's a wealth of knowledge and help when you need to get through a palm leaf opportunity, which is what we're going to talk about.
And I'll tell you what I love the most about her is her bubbly, vivacious personality. Welcome, Diane, to the table.
Oh my goodness, you two, what are we going to do? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here today.
Absolutely.
And Nick, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's 2 under 2 right now. So you just keep your feet moving on one after the other every day.
Well, and we can't forget number 1. And they just had number 2. How old is Ella now?
Ella's 7 weeks and approaching 8 weeks. And then our firstborn is 20 months.
Yes.
I think now.
Yes.
You have been busy.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a good work.
Yep. And we renovated a house and kind of right before that. So it's kind of been a 3 years of nonstop going. But
no rest for the weary.
Got to get this in while we can.
That's right. Well, let's get right at it, guys. Diane, who is Leafware and what specifically do you all do at Leafware? And what value does Leafware bring to the food service and hospitality operator?
Well, Leafware was thought about in 2007, and it's basically a palm leaf company. We own and operate our facility in India. So we are very well-rounded on the palm leaf side. And no, I don't want to clean up your palm leaves in Florida. I really don't. It's a special kind of palm leaf. So it's a little different than what you find in the United States. And we are moving and grooving, trending with the industry as always.
Good. And can you describe, I mean, I know we're on audio right now, Diane. There's a different kind of palm leaf, as you said, from what we're used to here in Florida or maybe on the West Coast. Can you describe how it's different or the look of it? Or if somebody wanted to Google it, what would it look like?
Well, it's an Areca palm leaf. So it's about a foot and a half, 2 feet long. And every one is different because it's made by Mother Nature. So it's pretty incredible. We have a lot of clients that use the actual leaf that we turn into plates or dinnerware as a centerpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've seen that.
It's really beautiful.
It's phenomenal.
And Diane, where does this stuff come from? Is it do we grow this kind of palm leaf in the States, or is that something that's sourced somewhere else in the world?
We don't grow it in the United States. Areca is not always grown in India or Asia, so on and so forth. But in our facility, we have a farm. So our driver in the morning will run out and basically pick up all the palm leaves that he sees, because we do not harm a tree. We don't shake the trees. We don't do anything to the tree. We let Mother Nature do her work. And basically, palm leaves have been around for thousands of years and been used for all kinds of things. It is not a new thing. It's more new for the United States than the rest of the world. It's kind of fun to see how the plant operates and moves. And it's basically a farm, a village that we employ 60% women. So we give life to that village in order to give them a better quality of life. So we're very proud of that. It's palm leaf is something that Mother Nature either gives you or takes away.
Absolutely. Boy, we know that when it comes hurricane season, we have our own, I guess, species of palm leaf here.
Palm trees.
There's all
fronds.
There's so many of them, but boy, it certainly litters the whole landscape here when we have strong winds come through. Diane, why is palm leaf a good substrate, if we could use that word, or material to use for food packaging as an option? Tell us about that.
Well, it gives you a green option that is actually a true option, because the palm leaf itself, the plate, when we design it, it will move and breathe on its own. So it's completely biodegradable and compostable. Even if you don't do what you're supposed to do and it gets tossed over into the water, it's going to turn back into a leaf. So it's something that gives you the versatility from a packaging standpoint. And we have created many different shapes and sizes. We also have created and patented our grab and go line. So you can actually, we're the only manufacturer that can put a lid on a palm leaf. So you basically have a plastic recycled lid and a compostable base that goes with that product. So you're really, truly riding the green wave at that point, because you're giving the client something that is beautiful to set your table with. You're crafting beautiful food. You should always put it on a beautiful product.
Absolutely. And in the green movement today, especially, and I've been in this industry now almost 10 years and been really, really grateful working with the group that we work with, Nick and I, at the Hody Group. We represent another great line called Eco Products, and all they do is green. And we love presenting Leafware when we speak to operators that want to really make a position and stand up for the green message in their operation. And Leafware plays so well with these operators, especially as a natural substrate, as well as how good food looks in that and on that substrate or that material when you plate food. It's so awesome.
And I think that's
great.
And Diane, I think that's a good transition point. Because it looks really good on the palm leaf, especially on the bases, and for what's photographs really well. I guess the question to ask is, how well does it hold up for performance in from greasy substances to saucy things? How well does palm leaf hold up when you put food on it?
And Diane, before you answer that question, is it also coated? Do you put a coating on the palm leaf, please?
No. I'm going to answer it in two parts. No, we do not coat anything because we want to keep it in its natural state. And the second part to your question is it holds up really well. I mean, it's a fast casual serve. If you are plating and going and plating specials on it, it's the perfect thing. If you're sitting in your deli case for 3 or 4 hours, it's fantastic. I think it works really, really well. if you try to plate more than 6 hours out, it's a natural product. It's going to get a little smushy on the bottom, but overall the performance of it is wonderful. We don't get many complaints that the product isn't holding up or isn't doing what the operator wants it to do.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So would you say that this has, because we know of the grab and go line with Leafware, would you say that it is better suited to be that grab and go, like in a cooler, grab something, a salad or a deli sandwich on the go, versus using this as like a restaurant doing to go packaging or leftovers to take home and people putting it in their fridge or something like that? Is there one or the other kind of leaning towards?
I think I lean towards more the fast casual, because if you're going to take something home, most people, unfortunately, when they reheat things, what do? They don't do like Diane did and take an empty plate because the chef was asking her, hey, how does it hold up in a microwave? Not that we ever use them. And I pop it in the hotel room without anything on it and create a fire. So not a good idea.
That's a good
But
idea.
I think you can, when you take things home, most people generally are going to pop it in the microwave. I don't think we fit that side of things. I think we fit sit down, eat, casual. If you're going to go, normally what people will put in palm leaf is going to be, we do some room services to where everything goes to their room. I think that's where it fits. I don't think it's to home to go packaging, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. If you ask others, they say it's perfect for everything, but that's just Diane's opinion.
Well, it's not much different when you present an operator and these operators come up with so many questions because they want to always make sure that they pick the right type of packaging or plating or ware for their food. The operators always ask the same question when you're presenting sugar cane or bagasse, if you will, or if you're talking about molded fiber, they always ask the same question: how long will it last? So I'm a little surprised, but not so much, that leafware as a substrate could get soggy after 6 hours or so with plated food.
Well, I think being honest is probably a better way of handling it. I mean, we do a ton of R&D on our product. So we have taken water or soups or something that's liquefied and put it in our soup bowls and let them sit on the counter for 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
They hold, but you're talking about an operator that every kitchen is different. So therefore, how they run and operate their business is up to them. So if they're trying to prep at a specific time because they have to feed 5,000 people at 4 p.m. at the country club, are we the product that's going to hold?
Yeah. And I think if you throw some common sense into this, if you are looking at one of these palm leaves that have fallen in one of the groves and they are on the ground and you leave it undisturbed and you get rain or you get mud, certain things like that to coat it day after day, I think that this is kind of common sense. You throw things like that on top of it, it's over time. Yeah, it's going to get soggy and eventually it's going to, fall through.
Well, Diane she shared with us a funny story yesterday. Diane, I want you to share it with our audience listening about the colleague that you worked with in a part of the country and the experience that he had. I thought it was a great story. Would you share that with us, please?
Absolutely. It was kind of fun because we are in California doing a training, and I do my spiel and get everything dialed in and done and fly out, go home. And about 2 weeks later, he calls and says, hey, I have the boys coming over for poker night. We're going to eat on the balcony. What do you think about using the product? I said, yeah, you're training. So if you use our product, you understand how it holds up. So it gives you talking points. Absolutely. Please use our products. What I didn't tell him was to make sure he cleaned up afterward, to be honest. So basically, he calls me and he's all excited. I'm like, okay, just what's going on? He goes, you told the truth. And I said, yes, I try to do that all the time. It's what I do. And he says, I have to be honest with you. He goes, we did poker night. It was late night. And then the rains came in and I have an apartment that's really close to the beach. I said, yes, I know. I was very envious of that. And he said, it turns into a leaf. Not every single one of them, but the ones that got soaked, it was this wet, soggy mess. And I said to him, yes, it would be. It's true. And he's like, you told the truth. And he goes, I'm so excited. I said, well, not every one of them, will move and change, but the ones that get soaked will be a wet, soggy mess. So I guess you should clean up your patio after the dinner party. And he was cracking up laughing.
Well, it's doing what it's designed to do. And we sell PLA cups that are made from the byproduct of corn. When these operators in these high heat intense environments put the cups out there, if they don't keep them climate controlled or chilled in the cooler but next to the ice chest, they melt. And these operators go crazy because they're like, my cup melted. Well, that's what they're designed to do. They're designed to break down. No different than palm leaf breaking down, going back into the earth. That's what it does.
And that's probably a good question that some folks may have, is you just described in the story of throwing it over the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe this is a good place to segue into talking about its compostability, because
Absolutely.
if we are in the industry approached by somebody who is looking to offer a zero waste program at their property or multi-unit or whatever it looks like, obviously we can't tell them to just have their guests throw it out on the lawn or in the
and grow a tree
or the mulch beds. But if they are looking to do something like that, this product is compostable, yes. And can you talk to us a little bit about, Diane, the like a program like that, if somebody was interested getting into a zero waste program where they compost?
Yeah, how does it play?
Absolutely, I can talk about that. The cool thing about using a natural resource that you've created something into is that you can take our palm leaf. I live in the desert. So for me, I'm familiar with, if you put your cup in the car holder and you drive across town, it's going to melt when everybody went to those corn-based cups. I mean, it's kind of surprising. And that's how it works. Even where I live, when I first went to work for the company, I wanted to test the theory. So basically, I put a palm leaf in the backyard and buried it just to see how long it would possibly take.
That's great.
Because I only get about 2 inches of rain a year. It's just how it rolls here. So if the dog would have not dug it up several times, I think we would have had it compost faster versus it taking as much time as it took. So it took about 130 days, and it basically just breaks down and breaks down and breaks down. I know more today about trash and how refuge works than I ever knew, because this is all not new to us. This has been going on for 20 years, you guys. Riding the green wave is not new. It's just getting to where we understand it and have a logical stance behind it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we are compostable. Our lids are recyclable on the grab and go side. So all the bases that we do are compostable, biodegradable. We also do palm leaf and many other wood substrates for a reason, because it stays in that natural element. So in doing that, what we have done is there's lots of certifications that you can do. So one of the hardest certifications that's always moving and changing with the compostability requirements is BPI certified.
Yes.
We are BPI certified as well as CMA certified. So the earth to us is very important to us, and how we navigate that and walking the talk. It's important. So if you use us on your yacht and it gets into the ocean, it turns back into a leaf. It does no harm to an animal with all the marine requirements. It's the reasoning behind using somebody that is BPI certified and bio-based, that you understand what you're actually doing, because we pay for these certifications and it is a rigorous, time-consuming process to be certified, and the laws are always moving and changing.
Oh, yes. And what does CMA stand for again, for our audience that may not know?
Compostable Manufacturing Alliance, off the top of my head.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I want to just make sure. BPI is Biodegradable Product Institute. So, but it is a certification. It is a standard. And all of our green products that we offer, as well as, and most importantly, Leafware, is BPI and CMA certified.
Yeah, they are now, and both are. And that's a huge talking point, because a lot of end users are moving in that direction, and they do care about the environment, and especially their clientele is more passionate, I feel, in these generations coming up, to care about the footprint that's left. And I think, Diane, the only question I had as a follow-up to that, based on what we just heard about compostability, if somebody was interested and an operator was interested in having their composted food and packaging like Leafware, after it's been discarded by their clients and their guests, can it be hauled to a composting facility? And is Leafware prepared to help somebody with that? Is that a service that you offer?
Would you guys coach them? Do you do any coaching through that with them?
We do. We talk about the compostability because you have some restaurants that do composting inside the restaurant, depending on what city or county that they're in. And the other thing that happens is you put us into your leaf trash. Even if you don't, the palm leaf is going to break down at refuge. Once it gets there, it gets a little water on it, some little microorganisms, and it's completely gone in about 120 days. So walking somebody through that, there's certain cities that have composting bins that are in the back by their restaurant, and then you can just toss this in there. We work with several composting companies across the United States, and we walk the talk where that is concerned as well. So if you toss it into your composting bin, it's going to get recycled. Even if you don't, it's still going to biodegrade and recycle naturally on its own.
Yeah, it's going to decompose, right? Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
the beauty. That's the beauty. What I love most about palm leaf is its ability to decompose,
right.
and the decomposition of it is awesome. Leafware, I know, has kind of diversified their portfolio some. And you guys are now into what we call bamboo. And we understand that you guys have this company called Bamboo Studio. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what products you're bringing to market through Bamboo Studio?
Absolutely. Leafware has become our disposable lead to. And when we had the opportunity to purchase Bamboo Studio, I think it was March of 2020 that we purchased the company. And it is phenomenal. It is a reusable dinnerware line that is also made from bamboo. There's a patent process that you go through, and it's pretty incredible. So what we did is when we diversified, we wanted to give you the disposable side and the reusable side all in one packaging. We run them as separate companies. They are side by side in green and so on and so forth. The challenge with Bamboo Studio that I see is that people are just starting to get used to it and understand it. And the collections are gorgeous. The cool thing is it's about 1,000 washes, depending on the collection that you pick, for the end user and the operator.
That's solid.
I think Bamboo Studio is going to grow in design because of the way we do custom products. We're known for this. We've created 2 or 3 plates since we bought the company. And I'm really excited about where we can go and how to build that portfolio into customizing things for chefs and operators to give them a unique design that is still going to degrade.
So of the tableware you're bringing in and utensils you're bringing in through Bamboo Studio, first of all, when I did lay my eyes on it last year at NRA, it was almost like a melamine, which was awesome. But you also offer charcuterie boards and different things. Can you really quickly kind of give us a scope on that?
Absolutely. So on the Leafware side, we came out with an artisan board and some heavy duty charcuterie platters that we have had around for years. And then it just seemed to be hot and trending. So we designed the boards. And then on the Bamboo Studio side, we have the reusable bamboo boards as well. So you can have the disposable and a reusable. So those are different into where the bamboo side of it, they're heavy and so on and so forth. Everybody's seen them. Basically, they'll come out in a restaurant with a special on it and so on and so forth. And we designed an artisan board because one of the chefs asked us, hey, I need something that's a little more lightweight that I can toss when I'm done with it or wrap for a to-go and send it home with the guest in order to finish that part of the service, and I want to run it as specials. So we kind of listen to the customers.
Awesome.
That's great. And I think this is an important question, and it's actually one that I wanted to squeeze in here. You talked to us about grab and go for Leafware. Can you just blurt out some of the other products that go with Leafware? Would you cutlery, the different shapes and bowls? Like, you guys really just kind of label off some of your top items for those listening.
So in the shapes and different sizes, we have a triangle bowl, we have a round bowl, we have a square bowl, we have a bowl that's got an incline to it that is very unique and very different. We also have our BIOS collection is a rice paper that basically You pop into a board. It's kind of a do-it-yourself board. And then we have fancy bamboo picks. We have all kinds of things that are earth-friendly that you can use for your establishment.
What of that can be logoed or branded, if any of it?
Oh, yes. We need to ask that question.
So basically, we can brand the palm leaf, and we brand anything that's 5 inches and above. And we basically laser etch it. We do these runs in less than 24 to 35 days. And basically, it's only 5 cases of 100 count. And you can mix and match the sizes. So if you want a 7-inch plate, let's say for a wedding to cut the cake on, you can do that. And if you want a 10-inch plate that has the same logo on it, we can do that as well. So it's literally 5 cases. So branding is really easy for us to do.
Great diversity.
Yes. For those listening, we will make sure that we put the Leafware catalog and the Bamboo Studio catalogs in our show notes. We want to make sure that you guys can put your hands on those quickly and readily.
And those interested that are listening, Diane, does Leafware offer samples?
Of course we do. On the Leafware side, we're pretty lenient with samples. On the Bamboo Studio side, we offer them as well, but we may ask you to pay for shipping and so on and so forth. We know that we have a product that is a touch feel product. It is not something that people are used to. So we love talking about our products. So we are very open with sampling and so on and so forth.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you stopping by today. That's all the time we're going to have for this episode today. We'd love to have you come back. Wow, what a great jam-packed episode full of information, and what a great concept Leafware is, and palm leaf as well as bamboo. So will you come back and visit with us soon, Diane?
With you guys anytime. And thank you so much for the opportunity. And thanks for all your coaching. I totally appreciate you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We hope that those listening would love to look at Leafware a little bit more closely, and we'll make sure that we have that happen for you. So if you'd like to reach any of us here at the Hody Group or Diane Maxwell at Leafware, please check out our show notes for our contact information attached to this podcast. Also, please like, follow, and share the Let's Set Your Table podcast. And if you're so moved, we would be grateful that you leave us a positive review on Apple, Google, or Spotify. We'd also encourage you to leave us a comment, feedback, or questions, and or topics maybe that you have an interest in, or would you like us to discuss in future episodes. So we'll see you again next time right here at the table.
Please join us again for another episode of Let's Set Your Table. If you would like more information, samples, or would like to consult with the Hody Group, visit thehodygroup.com. That's HODE group.com.